Todd McShay on who he has the Browns taking in his latest mock draft at number 2. This from the Todd McShay Show.
I think Shedeur Sanders is absolutely in play at number 2.
Right.
And real Cliff Notes, purgatory with the salary cap because of Deshaun Watson. The cap isn't going to change next year either. They're not in the market this year or next for a big-time free agent that can come in and solve a lot of these woes, right?
Right.
They also, if Stefanski, the head coach, and Andrew Berry, the general manager, are picking this high again, if this organization is picking this high again next year and could be in a spot to draft a Garrett Nussmeier or whomever the top quarterback is going to be a year from now, they might not have their job. So there's we got to win enough now and have enough promise for the future in order to have our jobs, but what's also best for the organization. And so when we look at Shedeur Sanders at 2, Stefanski's one of a handful of guys in the league that can walk into the CEO's office with a resume that says, I can do it. Right? And that's what we talked about the other day. I'm not going to go into all the numbers, the 11 wins in one season with this guy, 10 wins in the next different season with Kirk Cousins and, all the guys. But pocket passers without great arms, without great mobility, who process fast, that's Shedeur Sanders. That's what Stefanski's won with.
All right, we're going to tease this, Tim. Your latest mock draft came out this morning. Shedeur Sanders is the pick. What do you like about him? Why does he fit? And again, we've seen some things that he does well. He processes well. He's tough. He's used to playing with a terrible offensive line.
Yeah, and not to mention a terrible offensive line. He had no running game last season in Colorado. The worst running game in Division I college football last season, worse than a winless Kent State team in 2024. And despite all those things, Shedeur Sanders was highly productive, hyper accurate, and they still won 9 games. Wins are not a quarterback stat, but Shedeur played very well. Again, I've talked so many times about he didn't have a lot of talent around him, high-end talent with the exception of Travis Hunter, and still highly productive. He's not a flashy quarterback. He doesn't have the rocket arm, which I think has hurt him in a lot of eyes. I think with Shedeur, hyper accuracy is not a sexy trait, but when you look at it, it's not just accuracy, but where the ball's going. Ball placement is pristine with Shedeur Sanders. It's as good as you're going to get in this draft class. And I think arm talent can come in a number of different ways. Does he have Josh Allen's arm? Absolutely not, as far as arm strength goes. But is it good enough? Absolutely, it is. Joe Burrow's proven you don't need to be able to throw a football 60, 70 yards to have success in the NFL. So many quarterbacks came in without the elite arm, but they had the elite brain and the elite work ethic. Those are things Shedeur Sanders has, and I think he's a guy who's going to come into Cleveland, may need to sit a little bit like any young quarterback. Probably most quarterbacks typically do come in the NFL, but I think he's got a chance to be a pretty darn good quarterback.